And towing the slab here, Chris Sale. How about a scouting report on him? All right, ready to go here. Trent Grisham stepping in now for the Yankees. Grisham, first-round pick of the Brewers in 2015. Swing and a miss as he was out front. Stays alive. That one 95 to finish him off. Here is Aaron Judge. Just getting started here at Truist Park outside Atlanta. And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
Batting third, left fielder
Bellinger up to hit. 2 down, nobody on. Got him. Strikes out the side to begin the game. What a start. Back at Truist Park, the lefty on the mound for the Yankees, Max Fried. What do you got on him, Chris?
Great sinker. Although it's not his primary pitch, it's really a pitch that he can go to, misses the barrel of the bat, gets ground balls, and lets the defense work behind him.
Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate. And a payoff pitch. That one misses, so a leadoff walk.
Batting second, catcher.
And now here is Drake Baldwin. Here's a 1-1.
That's a ball.
Acuna gets his lead at first with nobody out. And that one clips the corner.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
That one in the dirt and gets away. No advance, though. So now 3-2.
Batting third, first baseman,
Here's Matt Olson. Here's a 1-1.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
Swings and misses. And the count's even at 2. That one missed.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Here comes the runner. Here comes the throw.
Everything came together for him. He wasn't able to elevate it, but he put a great swing on it. Right on time, good balanced approach, and just blasted it through the infield.
So here's Riley now.
It's great to get on the board in the first frame of the ball game, but here's an opportunity for them to really open things up with a couple of runners on. Let's see if they can cash in.
That's inside. In the dirt, no advance. Good job behind the dish. Lefty out of the stretch, runners at first and third, and that'll load the bases.
batting fifth, left fielder
Mike Yastrzemski up here. In the dirt. Wow, that's a great job behind the dish there. In danger of walking in the tying run.
You need a strikeout, and you need a ball perhaps on the ground for a double play, or get yourself a pop-up, something, but you've got to make some pitches. But if he can battle and get through this, he can earn some points.
Swings through that one.
As a hitter, you don't know what to expect here in the 3-2. If he'll throw a breaking ball 3-1, he'll do it again 3-2.
In the dirt, kicks away from the catcher. All loaded up. Ozzie Albies up to the plate. In the dirt, blocked. Nice job behind the plate there. The 2-1. Comebacker could be 2.
Could use a ground ball here. Something in the infield. Runner at first base. Get 2. Get out. This.
1-1 now.
Look, in situations like these, the air can get really thin up there at the plate. Got to find a way to breathe and slow everything down.
Pitch gets away. Nothing happening on the bases, though. Olsen, the runner at third. Riley over at second. Yastrzemski at first. 1 gone. Ball 4, and a run comes in to score. Eli White next up for the Braves. Swing and a ball hammered left field. Carrying well. Out of here. Grand slam. He jacks that one out to left. And they add on. It's 7-0. 1 down. Mauricio Dubon will hit next. The shortstop takes the ball.
Well, it's not the inning he was planning on to begin this start, but you've got to find a way to shake things off and give your team some length and put up some zeros.
Next offering clips the zone count even at 2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Two now. And that's outside. And that's ball 4. Back to the leadoff spot in the Braves lineup. Ronald Acuna Jr. getting ready. A hit. Falling behind 2-1. Inside, almost got him.
First pitch strike from the pitcher, but then no panic at all by the hitter. Very patient, showing good discipline. Now he's in the driver's seat with the 3-1 count.
Good job to fight that one off.
Flew open a little bit with that front shoulder, but was able to slow his back down just enough to make contact with that pitch. Keep the at-bat alive.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Swing and a miss. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. You can't be mad at yourself after an at-bat like that one. Drake Baldwin next up for the Braves. And a 1-1. Swings through that. That's off the inside corner. And that's ball 2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
3-2 now.
Great RBI spot here. Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something in the gap should definitely score.
And he hits a ground ball right side. Out, and thank goodness the inning is at last over. Back in Atlanta Truist Park, we move ahead to the top of the second now. Giancarlo Stanton stepping in now for the Yankees. The 1-1 is fouled off. Sale, more than 100 career wins on the mound, and of course has a Cy Young to his credit. Way high. Make it 4 strikeouts in a row, just cruising along.
First baseman.
And Paul Goldschmidt will come up to hit. The 1-1. And that's down and away. That one misses. Full count now. Line drive. That's a base hit into right field. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
That's a strike. Inside, almost got him. Struck him out looking. He picks up his 5th strikeout on the hill. Brian McMahon steps to the plate. Here's a 1-1.
That's a ball.
Goldie off of first with 2 away. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him. That's out number 3. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now in for the Braves, Matt Olson. And we've got ourselves a pitching change. Jake Bird.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
The 1-2. Dives, and he can't hang on. The throw is still in time, so they get the first out of the inning. Here is Austin Riley.
Austin Riley.
Hey! Goes down looking. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's the left fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. And a swing and a miss there.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
2-2 now. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Brings it in. That is the inning. Back here in Atlanta and stepping in for New York, Jose Caballero. Next offering is fouled back. High fly ball lifted in the air right field. And there's one away. Here's the catcher, Austin Wells. Close one, doesn't get the call. And it's 2-1. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
Well, and those hitters count sometimes can be a little too aggressive, and a good pitcher will play off of that. He's got to get a better pitch to hit.
Got him swinging for the K. Picks up strikeout number 7. Back to the top of the Yankee order. Now it's Trent Grisham to the plate. 2 down, nobody on. And that one almost got him. And there's ball 4.
Ball 4.
Up next for the Yankees, right fielder Aaron
Here
Judge.
comes Aaron Judge. He's not going to get cheated up there.
No, he's not. He's looking to do damage with every swing he takes.
This one in the air, center field. And that'll do it. Back at Truist Park. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Ozzie Albies. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Next offering is outside. And that one hammered. Judge going back on it. And forget it. A solo shot. And they add to the lead. It's 8-0. Michael Harris II. Next up for the Braves.
You know, these Braves putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. They jumped all over the starter and knocked him out of the game early. He just was never able to settle in, and the damage was done by the time he got the hook.
So a man at first. Eli White, the next to hit. Caught him looking for the K.
Up next for the Braves.
Here's Mauricio Dubon. And a 2-1 on the way. Popped up. Goldie under it. Brings it in, and there's 2 down. So back to the top of the order. Here's Acuna. One run across to the frame so far here in the last half of the 3rd. Ground ball left side. They get the force. That ends the inning. Back here in Atlanta, start of the fourth.
Clearly down in this ball game, and you can't look at the deficit and try to get it all back in one swing. It's got to come one at bat at a time, and even shrink it down smaller, pitch to pitch. Make that pitcher work to get you out. Well, every pitcher wants run support, and having a lead is nice, but it can be challenging for some pitchers. I think keeping the minds.
Here's a drive out to right center. Way back there. Look out. Gone. A gigantic blast. And they're on the scoreboard. It's 8-1. Now here's Giancarlo Stanton.
You know, these Yankees just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. So many of their outs have come from weak contact on pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today.
Next pitch is downstairs.
And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
Now it's Goldschmidt up to the plate. And he walked him.
That's ball 4. Take your bait.
Man at first with one gone. So up next for New York, Jazz Chisholm Jr. That's inside. And a count 2-1. Right through there for a strike. Double play ball to second. Good feed. That's one. What a double play that was. Inning over. Back in Atlanta, Truist Park. Now it's the Atlanta catcher, Drake Baldwin. Here's a high fly ball out to center. Grisham on the move, and he hauls it in. Here's Matt Olson down. The 1-1. Way back there. Out of here. Into the planter, out in center. Home run. So he just clears the wall, and they add to their lead. It's 9-1. One down. Here is Austin Riley. Swing and a miss. That one missing inside. And down on strikes he goes, and 2 away now.
Up next for the parade.
Here comes Mike Yastrzemski to the plate. This is a guy you got to keep an eye on when he digs in. Definitely been known to drop a drag bunt from time to time, and he's pretty good at it, Chris.
Yeah, and he creates a sense of urgency for the defense because of the speed.
Grisham is there, makes the catch. This one isn't exactly close, Chris. Let's go off script for a moment.
I'm game.
Were we on script?
Never.
Singy, were you superstitious as a player?
I'd say a little bit, and I wouldn't want to admit it, but I think, you know, you have a good game the next day. You're maybe thinking a little bit when you're putting your spikes on. Which one did I put on first? What did I eat? You know, let me just bring that back into today.
So you weren't superstitious, you were a little stitious.
Yes, I was medium stitious.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. So digging in, Jose Caballero. The 2-1.
We've got some superstitions up here in the booth, and you never can say, hey, this game's going really fast early in the ball game.
Yeah, that is one of the ways that we are capable of putting the jinx on the game, is talking about how fast the game is going. That normally will grind it to a screeching halt.
No question.
This looks like extra bases. Backhands, but he can't pick it up. And he'll pull into second safely. So, man aboard. Here's the Yankees catcher now, Austin Wells. That one misses, and that's ball 2. They've got a potent lineup, and when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. Next one is off the plate. Ball 3. And ball 4, 2 aboard. Back to the top of the order now. Now here's Trent Grisham. Line shot into the gap, should score at least 1. Runner from second crosses the plate, and it's 9-2.
He was all over that one. Pretty much a mop.
So they turn to the veteran pitcher in this spot, Tyler Kinley.
And never an easy situation coming in with runners at second and third. He's got a base to work with, so he doesn't have to be perfect, but he does have to make some quality pitches.
Gets the slider in there for a strike. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout. Here's Cody Bellinger. Two on, 2 outs. Fastball almost got him there. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. That's out to center field. Base hit, 1 run is in. Throw in holds that trail runner at third base. They're at the corners with 2 away.
Showed a lot of fight with 2 strikes in that AB. Fastball pretty much middle, and that's what you fall asleep dreaming about as a hitter. So no surprise he put a great swing on it.
Next one misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a ball. Sets him down looking. They limit the damage here. Bottom of the inning. Now in for the Braves, Ozzie Albies. Ball to strike. The pitch. To the right side, Chisholm. Throw off line. He's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away. And at first, Michael Harris the second. Next up for the Braves. Judge takes it in for the out. And there's 1 down. So here's the Braves designated hitter, Eli White. Here's a 1-1. That clips the corner. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Look out. And it hit him. He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch. So 1 out with 2 aboard. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Mauricio Dubon. Ball to strike. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And that's 4 strikeouts. Here's Acuna now.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Straighten him up a little bit.
That one back up the middle, and it gets through. Ozzie flying around third. He'll score. It's an RBI single. It's 10-3.
Just kept it simple. Played pepper with the middle of the infield and took it back where it came from, and there was just no one there to knock it down.
So 2 on with 2 away. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Drake Baldwin.
Ball.
2-2. And that one upstairs.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitters got to stay focused on the pitch.
And they're all loaded up.
That's ball 4.
Up next for the Braves.
Matt Olson up to the plate.
Matt Olson.
So they bring on the veteran, Tim Hill.
Well, no margin for error in terms of throwing strikes with the bases loaded. Just has to execute 1 pitch at a time to try to get out of this.
That's in for a strike, a slider. This one in the air, center field. Grisham should have this one. And that ends the inning. Back at Truist Park, top 6. Paul Goldschmidt stepping in now for the Yankees. Here's a 1-2. And down on strikes. 1 up, 1 down. Jazz Chisholm Jr. now. The Braves up big in this one, and we're the top half of the 6th. Hit on the ground up the middle. That's a base hit. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
All over that one right there. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
Here's Ryan McMahon now. Gets him to chase after that one. Gets a piece and stays alive. Here's a 1-2. And that one is inside. Got him looking. Strike 3 called and a slider at the knees. And here is Jose Caballero. Chisholm leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Grounds one to short. Dubon. Over to first. That's the inning. Well, we go bottom 6. Now the Atlanta cleanup hitter, Austin Riley.
You know, these Braves really impressing me with the quality of their at-bats in this one. It's been fun getting a chance to see them go to work. You just can't average 2 runs per inning without it.
Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. Safe at first, no play. We'll see how they score this. So, man aboard. And next for Atlanta, Mike Yastrzemski. The 1-1.
Inside ball.
Swing and a high fly ball to left. Bellinger sizing it up. One down. One out man at first. Here is Ozzie Albies up to hit.
Ozzie Albies.
That's ball 2.
Line drive, base hit. And now 2 aboard.
Now, just a total nightmare for lefties. I'd be very surprised to see that matchup again. Kind of a risky pitch coming inside with the breaking ball like that. You have to bury it. Otherwise, it's not too difficult to get the bat to it like he did that time.
On the ground to the left. Tags the runner for 1. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Eli White now at the plate. Well struck left field. That one carrying. It has the distance gone. Another homer. His second home run of the game, and they boost their lead. It's 13-3.